Okay, so I'm sorry, I kind of waited a bit late to record this video, so it's a bit dark. I'm sorry. Why did I do this to myself? Today we're doing Heartstopper Symbolism Part 3. Okay, so, obviously with the first two, I'm talking about all the symbolism that I saw, the symbolism that was pointed out to me. Also, a lot of things that I didn't notice in the first two seasons, because there is quite a lot, so we're going to be talking about those first before we talk about Season 3. But I actually did find a lot in Season 3, and I even, looked some up as well. So, I guess that's kind of cheating, to be fair, but you know what, who cares? It's not like I cheated on my partner. Anyway. Don't know why I said that. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first one, I cannot believe I didn't notice it. Nick is the first one that notices Charlie's haircut. So, obviously Charlie gets his haircut, and then he asks Tori if it looks okay, and she's like, it looks the same. And then, when he goes to Nick's house, Nick's like, you got a haircut? And then touches his hair, which, you know, I wonder what that's symbolizing. Also the fact that, Nick almost says, you look good, but instantly changes it to it looks good, you know? Which, actually, I was Kit Connor that pointed that one out. I guess this one isn't technically symbolism, but I'm still counting it. The way that the rugby lads welcome Charlie back into the rugby team, because obviously, if you know, in Season 1, he left the rugby team because he didn't want to be near Nick because he thought he was ruining Nick's life. But in Season 2, he rejoins it to help Nick come out to the rugby lads, and the rugby lads just welcome him back with open arms, you know? Because at this point, Nick's fallen out with them all because of the fight with Harry, but that shows him that they actually do like Charlie. You know, it symbolizes that they do like Charlie. I guess it's technically not symbolism, but I'm counting it. Okay, I feel a bit weird about this one. I feel like people are gonna think I'm weird for this one, but I thought we'd talk about it anyway. The way Nick and Charlie sit. Now, you're probably thinking, why were you looking at them sitting, BB, you weirdo? It's because sometimes it's easier for me to look at people's bottom halves rather than their top halves. And it's easier to talk to them like that, you know? I don't know, but maybe other neurodivergents can relate. But anyway, that's besides the point. So Nick is obviously more of an extrovert than Charlie, and is more, like, open and relaxed than Charlie, obviously. I mean, he's not open about his sexuality, but before then he was more open. So yeah. But then Charlie has been bullied all his life and probably feels like he needs to reserve himself and make himself as small as possible. So he sits with his legs closed, which I also do, by the way, just saying. So yeah, I guess that's technically symbolism, so I'm counting it. This one was pointed out to me ages ago, and I really am mad at myself that I never noticed it. Darcy wears the non-binary colors in Season 2. That is some good foreshadowing. So, me and my friend both thought that they were going to be non-binary because obviously their actor's non-binary, so, but, like, take that out, we really did think that they were going to be non-binary, and look at that, it was foreshadowed since Season 2. Probably in Season 1 as well, but I don't know if there's any, like, clues there. There probably will be, but yeah, that is good foreshadowing right there. Also, Nick and Charlie wear green a lot in Season 2. Obviously, as like I said in my video about the yellow and blue, yellow and blue seem to represent being closeted and then being out. So, green obviously represents both because Nick and Charlie are together, but they're not out as a couple yet. But Nick is slowly coming out to people, so that's, you know, yeah. This one I noticed as well. Ben is only affectionate to Imogen when Charlie's looking. When Charlie's not looking, they're actually quite mean to each other. They like honestly they are. Obviously now we know why because Imogen doesn't actually like boys, but even then, like they were quite mean to each other, like always pushing each other away and yeah. Even there's one scene when like Charlie looks at them and then Ben pulls Imogen closer to him, but then she's like, get off, and then that's when she walks up to the Paris squad to ask if she can hang out with them. So yeah. I guess that's kind of symbolism to show that Ben is still in love with Harry. Harry? Charlie, God, sorry. Okay, this is my favorite one. During their kiss, Tao is wearing butterflies and Elle is wearing flowers. Like, this is my favorite one because butterflies are attracted to flowers. That is brilliant. Okay, so usually I don't count the animations as, because I counted them as their own, like, collective, like, symbolism in Season 1, but I count things like this. The dark cloud over Darcy's house when they're going home, like, obviously to represent how awful Darcy's family is and how they couldn't be their true selves when they lived there and how awful their mum is. The worst mum in Heartstopper, I've said it millions of times, but she makes Charlie's mum look good. Like, so yeah, that is quite good symbolism there. This one I did not notice and I kind of hate myself for it. Well, for other reasons too, but that's besides the point. The globe in Charlie's room. So Nick and Charlie are getting ready for prom, and Nick has his eyes closed before he sees Charlie's outfit, and when he turns around, he's like this, but the globe light is off. And then when he uncovers his eyes, and then it cuts back to Charlie, the globe light is on, showing that Charlie is the light in his life. It's so cringy, but I love it. Alright, that was all the ones I missed, so now we're getting to season 3, which I'm excited about. This was the first one I automatically noticed, because this was actually before this season even came out. It was back when they filmed it, literally a year ago, which is kind of weird to think about. Nick is wearing bi shorts. So yeah, literally I wrote this down when the screenshots of them filming first came out. Nick is wearing bi shorts. That is awesome. Obviously, this is the first season where he's like actually out to everyone, so he's wearing it proudly. Again, with the animations, I count things like this. The screen glows a bright color when Charlie is imagining telling Nick that he loves him, but then it goes black when he imagines Nick saying that, not saying it back, and getting like freaked out that he said it. So yeah, that was done really, really well. I like that. I don't know if this is intentional or not. I guess it's more of an Easter egg, but I'm counting it. The bracelets that Tao gets Elle are the trans colors. Like, I love that so much. Obviously, if you saw it, he got, a bracelet that had, I don't know which one he gave which, but he has a bracelet that says T and a bracelet that says E for Tao and Elle, obviously. And they're the trans colors. I love it so much. Also, T and E is short for testosterone and estrogen. There's no way that was intentional. Okay, there's a lot of things about clothes this season, so I'm just going to talk about them all in one thing. A lot of the colors, like, represent different emotions and different sexualities. I talked about Nick's bi shorts before, but I really want to talk about those for ages, so the rest I'm just going to talk about here. So, I think there's a scene where Tara is wearing the non-binary colors, like, obviously since Darcy came out as non-binary this season. Charlie wears a lot of dark colors to represent his mental health in this season as well, which, that's awesome as well. I'm pretty sure that, Tao and Elle's colors are purple and, like, bluish, I think. So, like, they wear those as well. I think there's other things as well, but, like, that's just collectively, the clothes that they wear, the colors of them, they all mean something, okay? Like, there's even times when Charlie's wearing yellow and black, like, to represent how he's, like, in love with Nick, but also, like, you know, struggling with his mental health, which, that's clever as well. Even, like, the first outfit he wore with, like, the yellow shorts, the blue t-shirt, and, like, the green and yellow cardigan kind of symbolizes that, too. Like, all of the mixture of emotions about being afraid to tell Nick that he loves him. So, yeah, a lot of, like, details in the clothing. Okay, so he literally said it in the show, but I'm still counting it. Tao uses his dad's video camera so he can feel closer to his dad. Because it was his dad's video camera, and his dad was always filming him with it. Not in a creepy way. That sounded creepier than I meant it, God. So, yeah. That's a way that he can feel closer to his dad, which is really cute. I like that. Also, I guess, I don't know if this is really symbolism either, but Charlie starts getting tired and isolating himself because of his mental health. Like, obviously he's in denial about his mental health at this point, like, really, because he's trying to deny the eating disorder and deny that anything's wrong, and he thinks everything is fine. So, when he starts getting tired and isolating himself, that's when he starts to realize there's a problem, and that's when he starts to, like, research if he has an eating disorder. Like, it was all done really well. I guess I isolate myself as well. So do many autistic people. So, like I said before, Elle has so much butterfly imagery. Like, she's got butterflies in her room, flowers in her room. She has a butterfly necklace. Like, so many, like, butterfly imagery. Which is also quite cool because butterflies are associated with trans people. Like, you know, the caterpillar is transitioning into a beautiful butterfly. That's how a lot of them see, like, bottom surgeries and that. So that's really nice. I like that. Especially considering a certain thing that happened to Elle, which I will be talking about again in a future video. Also, the screen goes dark every time Charlie is around food. Obviously, because he can't eat it. This is roundabout when he starts to realize that there's something wrong. So yeah, it all goes dark to represent how, like, he sees food and how he doesn't want to eat it. So yeah, I do like that. I don't like it, obviously, but I like how it was shown. But also, thank you, Alice, for doing this with a male character, because we need more male anorexia representation out there. This one, I actually did notice myself, and I love it so much. It makes me so happy. So, Charlie literally did not eat his lunch. He ripped apart his sandwich and only, like, ate little pieces of it, I think. I don't quite remember, but then him and, like, Nick are talking in the library, and Tao's there, and James and Isaac are right beside them, like, listening in, kinda, but they're literally organizing a shelf for mental health. Like, oh my god. One of the books is even called The Year I Didn't Eat. Like, oh my god. Like, that right there is brilliant, okay? That's brilliant. I'm so glad that I actually noticed this myself, so I can claim me as, like, the founder of it. I'm sure other people have noticed it too, but I'm so proud of myself for seeing this one, considering I didn't notice Darcy's non-binary colors in Season 2, so yeah, I'm very proud of myself for noticing this one. Also, I'm counting this one too. Charlie touches his scars when he's stressed, like, kind of showing he's still in the back in the mindset of where he used to, SH himself. So yeah, that's really dark. I used to, like I said in my last video, I used to think that was stimming, but nope, it was like touching his scars the whole time, and I didn't click on it. So yeah, this made me uncomfortable on my first watch, but I'm starting to realize that was the point. The music and the camera get disorientated during the Halloween party to show how overwhelmed Nick is with everything going on with Charlie, which that's done really well. And then this is also when Nick has a breakdown and Tao hugs him. And can I just say, Nick and Tao's relationship, their dynamic now, that is brilliant. That is real character development right there. Like, awesome. But yeah, like the music and the camera made me very uncomfortable in that scene, but I'm kind of glad they did because it's showing their mental state as well and making us feel how they feel, which is done really well. I also noticed this one by myself. The hallways in the mental hospital are dark, but they get lighter as Nick and Charlie walk closer to each other. Like, because of course they're each other's lights, they're each other's lives. Like, come on. Like, and obviously being in a mental health facility is probably scary as well. Yeah, especially the way Charlie's family made it out. Really, that annoyed me so much. It annoyed me when I read it, and it annoyed me when I watched it. But yeah, the fact that the whole hallways got lighter as they walked closer to each other, that was amazing. And I'm pretty sure there were leaves on the walls as well, but there are leaves everywhere. So also when Elle is having like not a panic attack, but is starting to get uncomfortable because of her gender dysmorphia, there's a breathless poster behind her, which represents how like she's kind of like can't breathe because she's like having. Not a panic attack, but a little anxiety attack about her. Well, I don't really want to say. You can kind of guess what it is. But her gender dysmorphia, that's all I'll say. Obviously, this one I talked about in Season 2 as well, because of different lightings. But at Christmas, Charlie's house has all dim and dark lighting to show how awful his family is. Just like, oh my god. The things they said to him, basically making him feel like he's crazy. That's disgusting, and I would never allow my son to be in that situation. I do not care if it's Christmas time. Like, nah. But so then he leaves and goes to Nick's house and is immediately greeted with his whole family with like open arms, and it feels warm and the camera's light. It's all so incredible. I love it so much. Also, the rain on Christmas represents both Charlie and Tori's mental health and how terrible this holiday season's been for them, because it has been. She's having to deal with her brother being, mentally ill, and then he's having to deal with being mentally ill. So yeah, the rain is very much included there. Also, the globe light again. I don't know what part on the show this happened because I saw it on Threads, but the globe light is on when Charlie is texting Nick when he's at, I think it's when he's at Menorca. It might be, or I don't know if he's at Menorca at his house. It's one of them. It's probably Menorca. Anyway, it's on when he's texting him, but then when he stops texting him and looks at himself in the mirror, it goes off, showing how much he hates himself and hates his body. So yeah, that's really good as well. Like, that globe light is used a lot, and I like it. Okay, this one I did like. The screen goes black when Tara starts having a panic attack about going to uni. Like, I like the way the screen goes black for a lot of, like, the panic attack scenes. That's really done well. And Charlie helps her at that part, because obviously he's going for this as well. Like, not the same thing, but mental health problems as well. Maybe Charlie should be a therapist. He could help so many people. Okay, I'm including these last two together. Nick has a leaf on his wall now, and there are leaves on the stage at the Truum Fair. They're both leaves, Like, they're nothing big or, like, anything like, oh my god, I didn't notice that. Like, they're just there, to represent them, basically. That's all it is. Hey, BB from the future here. I'm sick. I've realized as I was editing this that I forgot to mention that when Charlie looks in the mirror and looks at his scars, the screen goes black, and yeah. So I know I mentioned the screen going back before, but yeah, I wanted to talk about that, but I forgot to, so I had to add it in here. Glad I noticed while I was editing, though, and yes, I know I sound ill. Okay, well, that is all of the symbolism I noticed in Season 3, and things I missed. Obviously, there's a lot more I missed in Season 3, but you know what? I actually think I have quite a good list here, so I'm fine with it. But if there's anything else you noticed, do let me know in the comments down below. And obviously I said this before, but there's going to be a lot more Heartstopper content coming soon. I think my next video is going to be ranking the soundtrack, because I did that, I listened to it and I ranked it all, and I'm really excited. But yeah, you'll have to wait until Saturday, because this video is coming out on Wednesday to see it. But again, let me know if you saw any in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!